No matter what difficulties you face, what really matters is how you handle them. Imagine a world where you can stay calm and collected even when things are chaotic. That's what Stoicism is all about. It's an old philosophy that started over 2,000 years ago in Athens, and it's more than just a bunch of academic ideas. Stoicism provides a practical guide for living and gives us tools to deal with life's ups and downs with grace and balance. It teaches us that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. It advises us to focus on what we can change and let go of what we can't. Stoicism is about accepting life as it is, finding peace in the midst of chaos, and staying calm when things go wrong. It's not about hiding our feelings or pretending not to care. Instead, it's about understanding and dealing with our emotions. In a nutshell, Stoicism equips us with the tools to choose how we respond to whatever challenges life throws at us. Now let's consider how Stoicism can help us deal with difficult people. In life, we encounter all kinds of people. Some are happy and friendly, some are sad, and some are difficult to deal with. Stoicism is a theory based on understanding and wisdom. It teaches us not to let the words, actions, or behavior of difficult people disturb our peace of mind. We should realize that their behavior stems from their own problems, not ours. When people are being difficult, it's often because they're going through something we may not fully understand, like having a bad day or dealing with their own issues. Stoicism helps us understand that we can't control what others do or how they feel, but we can control how we respond to them. We can choose to react with kindness and understanding, or we can let their actions affect us negatively. Stoicism empowers us to keep our peace and happiness regardless of what others do. Stoicism is not about trying to change other people, it's about changing ourselves, how we act, and how we perceive things. By doing so, we become better equipped to handle difficult situations. Remember, you can't control other people, but you can control your own reactions. So how can you control your reactions? In life, we often have to respond to what's happening around us. But what if I told you that you have control over how you react? It may come as a surprise, but it's true. To control your responses, you need to understand the concept of response delay. Think of yourself as a pool of water and each event or interaction as a pebble thrown into that pool. Your response is like the ripples that spread out from where the pebble landed. Now imagine being able to pause those ripples, even just for a moment. That pause is called response delay. It's the short break you give yourself before taking action, allowing you time to think and choose the best way to respond. Response delay doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means giving yourself time to think, reflect, and decide how you want to act instead of letting the situation dictate your response. Response delay enables you to remain calm and composed in the midst of a storm. It's not about avoiding the storm, but rather navigating through it with ease and composure. Think about times when you reacted immediately without waiting. Were those responses helpful? Did they lead to positive outcomes? Most of the time, the answer is no. Instant responses are often impulsive and uncontrollable, and they can result in negative consequences. However, by practicing response delay, you can change that pattern. Start by taking small steps. When you feel overwhelmed with emotions, pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what is the best way for me to respond? Taking a moment to stop and think can make a significant difference. By being in control of your responses, you also take control of how you feel. You're taking charge of your life and steering yourself towards a calmer and more peaceful path. Remember, with practice, you can learn to control your reactions. Another important aspect of Stoicism is changing your perspective. Stoicism is beautiful in its simplicity, and one of the simplest yet most impactful things it teaches us is to change our viewpoint. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or sugarcoating the harsh realities of life. Instead, it's about altering how we perceive the world around us. When we come across people who are difficult to get along with, it's easy to react badly and let anger or frustration cloud our judgment. But Stoicism tells us to take a step back and change how we see things. Instead of seeing these people as difficult, we can try to see them as teachers who can help us learn patience, understanding, or strength. We can understand that, like us, they are shaped by their own experiences and circumstances, and their actions, no matter how hard to understand, come from their attempts to navigate life as they know it. This change in perspective doesn't excuse bad behavior or let people off the hook. It's about developing empathy and recognizing that everyone has their own problems, which often influence their behavior. This understanding can help us get along better with others and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Start by reflecting on why you felt a certain way initially. What is making you sad? What assumptions do you have about the other person's desires? Is there a different way to interpret their actions? Next, try to see things from their point of view. Every person has a unique perspective on the world. By making an effort to understand their viewpoint, you might gain insight into why they behave the way they do. Then, remind yourself that everything is temporary. The current situation, the person, and your feelings will eventually change. And finally, focus on what you can change. You may not have control over other people's actions, but you can control how you respond. Instead of reacting with anger and irritation, choose to respond with patience and understanding. By changing the way you perceive the world, you can transform how you feel about it. Acceptance is also a vital aspect of Stoicism. It's about acknowledging and embracing reality as it is. Acceptance doesn't mean being passive or resigning yourself to your fate. It means understanding how things and people work and adapting accordingly. When it comes to dealing with difficult people, acceptance becomes even more important. We need to remember that everyone has their own thoughts, perspectives, and ways of behaving, shaped by their experiences and struggles. Just as we are entitled to our own opinions, so are they. Acceptance doesn't imply agreement or approval. It means recognizing and respecting the diversity of viewpoints in the world. By accepting that people are different, we can avoid futile battles of will and focus our energy on things we can control. This allows us to break free from anger and frustration, freeing ourselves from self-imposed standards and finding peace. It enables us to navigate through the complexities of human differences with grace and respect, avoiding unnecessary conflicts. Acceptance extends beyond dealing with difficult individuals. It encompasses accepting life with all its imperfections and surprises. Ultimately, acceptance acts as a healing balm for the soul in Stoicism, making the challenging aspects of life more manageable and beautiful. In conclusion, Stoicism provides us with tools to navigate the challenges of life. It teaches us to deal with difficult people by controlling our responses rather than trying to change them. It encourages us to change our perspective and see things as they are, without judgment. Acceptance plays a crucial role in Stoicism, helping us understand that we can't control everything and that our peace and happiness depend on how we respond to life's uncertainties. Stoicism empowers us to find inner peace amidst chaos and offers wisdom for a less stressful existence.